I am struggling with jealousy at the moment. So my story is that as a child in my family unit, my brother was a bully. Not only did he bully me, he bullies our older sister, older than him, and the people who he can't bully, like my older brothers. He would make life hard for them, just being whiny little fucker, to be frank. And he was bullying me, bullying my sister, and bullying my mother. And the problem with that is that my father, who should have reprimanded him, really did nothing. So no one in the family could really punish him, and that dynamic went on for years. Even as he became an adult, when he doesn't live with us anymore and we don't live with each other anymore, I knew that he still had that issue with his wife, which is my sister-in-law. And at one point their marriage didn't seem like it was working, and at that point I feel like, well, you kind of deserve it, seeing how he treats me, our family, how he treats his wife. But the thing with my brother is that he knows it's not the right thing to do. He's not a bad person, really, but he knows he can bully us, and he does it intentionally, because people who did not have to live with him, for example his friends, his in-laws, they don't know this part of him. So when most people see him, they wouldn't think that he has this attitude or anger issues, because he would really act like a normal person in front of everyone else. And I think it was that trauma that led me to my ex-wife, really, because my ex-wife, in front of other people, she would be like an angel. She would do anything for her friends. She would buy stuff. She would go the fucking mile for a friend, but she wouldn't even be considerate for her own family. For me, was her husband at the time, for her parents, for her sibling. So it was kind of similar to me, if I'm being really honest. Like, when I realized it, I was like, oh, it's true that you have a tendency to repeat your past trauma. And the thing was, I was like fairly aware of my trauma, and I had enough awareness to know that I don't want to I don't want to get in a relationship with someone toxic. But funny thing, because I ended up with someone who knows how to pretend to be a kind and loving person, but behind closed doors, she's manipulative. She has anger issues. She's stubborn, and she treats her family like trash, really. But that's that's all one and done. But right now I'm struggling with jealousy because my brother, over the years, I think ever since his son was born, I think he's been really doing well. It seems like he's learning how to control his emotion. He's trying to be there for his family. Like he's starting to have that self-awareness of the need to be kind to people closest to you, not just people who you can pretend being kind. That's the thing with these kind of people, is that in front of everyone they know they have to be kind, so they pretend. But within their own family, they can't keep up that mask for long, and it's always the family who ends up getting the emotional becoming the emotional punching bag. So but since his child was born, seems like he gained some self-awareness, and he worked on himself, I guess. And I believe his relationship with his wife and child is like really great. They're of course he can improve more, but I think it's a far improvement from how he was just a few years ago. And the thing is, he's very smart. He studies really hard, and now he's working overseas. So next Friday he's gonna bring his wife and child to Qatar, where they will live there for as long as he's working in Qatar. And that's like typically what people consider successful in your career. And for the longest time, I don't have what he has, but what I always had was peace of mind compared to him, because I've always been aware. I've always been in control of my emotions. I've always worked for my peace and not just my not just for career or whatnot. But now it's like he's doing better than me in every single way. In his career, in his relationship. And a part of me feels that it's unfair, that my whole childhood trauma was because of him, and yet he's getting everything that he ever wanted. Not saying that he didn't work for it, I know he did. It's just I feel like my value as a person is really nothing. Like I have no value anymore. I'm just a dude. I can die tomorrow and the world won't be any less worse than it already is. And then there's this another guy on Instagram. He's a photography guy. I don't know him personally, but I look at his art, his work. It's the same kind of genre that I do, which is night photography, astrophotography. Almost the same, but there are things that I do that he doesn't, and he sometimes shoots in the daylight too, which I don't do usually, or rather I don't upload them. I do shoot in the day, but I don't upload them usually. So yeah, that's and I'm just looking at his work. I mean, he has a lot of followers. He has a lot of sponsorship. He is very well, very established in the community. I don't think I mean, sure, I would love to have brands, what do they call it? Brand deals or followers who love my art, sure, but above that, it's just that his art is so much better than me. I feel really small. It's not about his accolades, it's just that I know his art is like fucking amazing, and I'm like nowhere near that. And like, not only am I divorced, I just got basically my marriage failed. I have a house, but I don't want to live in it. I want to sell it, but there's no one buying. I don't like my job that much. I find no meaning in it. I have a camera, but there are so many people who are better at it than me. I don't know what my value is. I don't have much friends. Before this, I was happy with my ex-wife. Not because I can't live without her or whatnot. Not because she was not because like she was the only thing that I live for, but I really feel a lot of meaning in spreading love, because I have all this care and love inside of me that I don't know how to give it back to the world. And at that time, giving to someone else gave me a lot of meaning, but now I have nothing to give to the world, not even my art, much less money. or leadership or companionship. I don't think I have any of that. So I really feel like I don't have anything much. Feels like there's nothing. I mean, yeah, I have my cats, but anyone can replace me for them, can give them food and take care of them, sure. I feel so worthless. And like such a bad feeling. I don't think some people doesn't have to struggle with self-worthlessness, because for them it's kind of obvious that they have self-worth just because they are, they exist, so self-worth isn't even a question. Maybe it's a curse for people who are too aware of themselves, or rather too aware of what they mean to the world, what value they give. But I mean, if you're like a bit delusional about your value to the world, you don't really think about self-worth. But when you think a lot, the act of thinking itself becomes agony. So like, what is the point of me? And you know what's scary about dying? It's not really not being alive. At least for me, the scary part about dying is that you never did, like, you never gave anything to the world. And the crazy thing is that I can really die anytime. No one knows. It can be tomorrow, it can be 10 years from now. I might even live 100 years. But there's no guarantee that I'll provide anything to the world. My death could be as meaningless as a insect dying. It's just so pointless, meaningless.